Hello and welcome to episode 39 of the MotoGP Career mode. Today we have the Finnish Grand Prix, one of my least favourite tracks. I hate this track, absolute hatred. But anyway, we have some small bits to take care of before we get into it. We have a new manager, he's not any good. And our team development still is all under process. And we've 1 week left and 3 weeks left in the bike development, so that's all fine there. Now in the Aprilia, what I have done off camera is that we got our first traction control. This is one I've been waiting for a while. I feel like this is the biggest area we're losing, is electronics out of the corner. And what I've done is I've taken everyone who's finished it, put them on the research data production for electronics. I want to basically have a very good electronics package, and I want to see, will that fix my woes with Aprilia? Can that get me close to the front? I feel like that's where I lack. And yeah, I have loads of resource in engine, I lack in frame and aero, and electronics. I really feel I need to do that. So if I can get traction 2 done in the next few weeks, if I can get enough resources for it, I'll get that on the bike as fast as possible and see, will that be the difference between qualifying 18th and finishing 10th, and maybe I can qualify 10th and finish 3rd or something like that. We'll see, I don't know. But anyway, I feel like that's going to make a big step. Now I don't know if I'll notice anything this weekend in Finland, because I'm not great at this track in third person, so in first person I think I'm going to struggle. I think I'm going to be way off the pace, but we'll see. Anyway, enough chatter, let's get on track. So free practice is done, and once again we are nowhere on the timesheets. I really don't like this track. Now the pace doesn't feel that bad. We've had some upgrades, like I said, the traction control, and I think I'm starting to notice a theme that I've improved the traction. Now I have another issue that seems to be holding back, and I'm worried about it for the race. We're down to P20.6 off, I will mad. And yeah, so like very little off, and we're still in bottom nearly of the timing screen. So here we are in qualifying now. I did mention in the previous clip there that I did improve traction for the electronic side. And at a track like this where I'm not particularly strong or comfortable, I don't know if I will be able to see a difference. I don't think I'll be fighting near the front of this track anyway, so I do imagine that it will be quite difficult to see any sort of improvement. Now I'll add that I think now anti-wheelie is lacking, because I feel like I may, now it might be in my head, I may have a bit more rear traction out of the corner, which leads to a bit more of a wheelie because the bike is getting a better exit. Now I can't prove it yet, but in the race I will be monitoring that closely, because I know in the races usually on corner exit I lose lots of time. That's where I lose all my lap time over one lap, especially in qualifying. So I will be very intrigued to see if I have made up any gains in that, or is the anti-wheelie going to hold me back. And yeah, so I'm working hard in the electronics department of getting the Aprilia up as far as the other bikes on the grids, the Yamahas and the Ducatis and stuff like that, but we're pretty much probably going to struggle with this track. I don't feel very good here. This is a very, very hard track in first person, so it's going to take a hell of a performance if I'm going to even get near the points in this weekend. But we're coming up to the end of our qualifying lap, and Lorenzo Salvadori is in front of us. We are just coming up now into the second last corner. Small little shoot just over the brow, and then hard on the brakes, bringing it down into the apex, into the final corner. Up to the finish line we go. It's going to be a 1 minute 43.0 and puts us, or 43.1, and puts us top. But 43 end of session P7, only P or 0.3 off. So we go for medium for the race now. Unfortunately we are way back. Our lap time, like 43.0 is what we did in Q1, and that will put us on the second row if we made it through to Q1 or Q2. So it's very, qualifying in the MotoGP class for some reason is very glitched. It seems to be that the first session is usually quicker than the second session, so it's harder. So like what I'm saying is, if I could get out of Q1, I'd probably be able to get pole, or I'd be able to get a front row nearly. It's just, that's the sort of pace that it's looking for, which is quite annoying, because a lot of times I actually have quite good race pace. I just can't get near the front of the grid because I have 20 riders in front of me. Nonetheless, Here we are on the grid. Alicia Spargaro back here and another Aprilia right in front of us. So the Aprilias are way down, 5 red lights and we are off. We get a decent launch. It's quite a small stretch to the first corners. We just dived up inside of Paul Espargaro, the two brothers to my left. And we're up to P15 as the Honda comes back at me. So my first true example. Oh, as Frankie comes up and tags me, I was just going to say my first true example to see what my corner exit is like, and it doesn't look too bad there now. I will add that it's the first lap, and you can never really be sure on the first lap. It's later in the races now where I need to see. with a great run on Salvadori down into it. There's Marquez and Rossi. Salvadori goes around me outside, and yeah, it looks like I just managed to hold him off. So it's Enea Bastianini, Rossi, and Marc Marquez. So, there's an Aprilia up the inside. That was Salvadori, and it looks like there was contact because he has crashed, unfortunately. So that's one Aprilia who's hit the deck. So just 2 still in the points, which is good for us, but unfortunately Salvadori, who probably was the quickest Aprilia of the weekend. It's good to see Rossi and Marquez going side by side through this middle sector here. Marquez looking for any way around. But what can we do? If we get in a group here, maybe we could stay with them. A bit like in Aston, I felt like I could stay with them. But we'll see now as we come out of turn 12. We set it up, just trying to get a good ride out of the corner. My initial thoughts is it doesn't look like we've made much gain on corner exit. We don't seem to be able to stick with them as much. Some aspects like there now, but again, just here they just seem to take that kind of bike length away, which I have to kind of make up on brakes, which is not ideal really. Unfortunately, making up on the brakes usually leads that you're destroying the front tyre and you're not taking the optimal racing line. We actually go up the inside of Marquez. I didn't even mean to do that. That was just outbrought myself, went to the inside. So we actually have Marquez behind us now. We'll see as he's actually on my outside and he flies around the outside of me. He goes wide, cuts it back. And Frank Morbidelli calls up me inside and he tags me. He goes down. We have contact and we're back down to P17. So a poor opening sector of lap 2, so we are behind Binder Mark as we dropped back out of the points, which is unfortunate. But what can you do? We just need to dig deep now, but to see a massive train of riders up heads up again. If we have pace, we might be actually able to do something with it today. I'm not too sure, but we shall see what we can get done. So Binder on the KTM, he's up next. He's my next target, but don't seem to be making any inroads on this lap yet. I'm starting to fear maybe this Aprilia will not be the bike to get me to the front of the grid. I have been in contact with other teams, and I'm not going to mention anyone's names, but I have been in contact. I've been contract negotiations are ongoing, and I'll say no more about that, but I'm not set with Aprilia for life. I may jump seat if I can't get this Aprilia into shape. But anyway, we're catching up now slowly to Brad Binder. We're far back at the moment, and yeah, we seem very strong into this braking zone. We actually brake very late. We get a bit of a stop in. We're going to go up the inside of Binder again, another move, and actually give him a very aggressive move on him there. Sit him up a small bit of bar contact, but yeah, that was not my intention. Again, just I have to make up all my time on the braking, which means more and more often than not in the heavy braking zones I outbrake the I make up way too much time and I kind of affect their run through the corner. So I apologise to Binder, a very aggressive move on him. No doubt that he will have his way back at me at some point during the season. But anyway, now we are in P16, so just outside the points, and yeah, we're okay. Our pace is relatively decent. Again, I feel like maybe out of the corners I'm struggling most. The eye seems to jump on me, so it doesn't look like the traction control, the first traction control update has done anything. Now my next one I reckon will be a anti-wheelie, and you'll see here in a minute or two when I come out of the hairpin turn 3 of the front wheel fast to Bob, and we set it fastest now at 42.3 compared to 42.6 of Miller in the lead, so we're probably not too bad on pace. But you see no one here in the second, in the next right hander here, I'll probably drop back again from the group in head. You just see as I sit it up and try and put the power down, the front wheel starts to kind of bob around just there like that. That's all cutting power, and I'm losing so much down the straights. And the Aprilia isn't overly quick compared to the rest of the bike, so I don't have anywhere to make it up. Now I do make it up most on the brakes. You can see I take 3/10 out of the riders in front on the braking, so maybe we could just maybe sneak into points if we get it late. Okay, we just need to be, we're just dropping back too much in these sectors here where I can't actually make a move. Once again, our favourite overtaking spot, we're going to go around the outside of Aleix Espargaro. He sticks it back up the inside. I have to set it up. No one will I be able to stick a wheel up the inside somewhere else. It doesn't look like I will. Again, he seems very strong to rise in front, very quick through these flip-flops, and there's not really a way to pass through here. Coming down into turn 10 as well, not really much of an overtaking move. It's a one line corner, and unfortunately most of the track is like that, which makes it very difficult. Only probably the last corner is a bit of a dive bomb in there. Not really an ideal move, but if we have to use it, we'll try. Turn 1, if you can get a great round with the last corner or the end of the back straight, really are the only overtaking spots. It's not a great track for racing, I will add, which is unfortunate. But we seem to be just sticking with our senior team of the factory racing Aprilia. In here you have to be very close to be able to set it up the inside, but again, like we don't, again, just you can see the wheelie in first gear, just kind of front is just bobbing, and that just slows us down. Again, we make up a lot of time into turn 1. We actually go slightly wider late, which was right on the line we wanted. So now we have a new fastest lap of 43.0, which is only 0.4 off of Miller front. 43.0 again in qualifying would have been enough for top 6 easily. So again, slightly disappointing that the game isn't giving us anything in Q2. Unfortunately, Brad Binder was right there as well. We are very fast, and we're actually close this time, so we might actually be able to make an overtake. Again, we go for the outside of Aleix. It looks like we have the move done. Perfect, we got the move done. Now we have Alex Marquez and Marc Marquez in front of us if we can keep Aleix Espargaro behind us, and we couldn't. He managed to sneak past in the place of the track I said you can't pass through, the flip-flops, the S sections. He's managed to slide up the inside, so all my hard work undone by slightly slack move. Now we are going to try it around the outside here, a very difficult move. It's not really going to work. Aleix knows that, and he just pushes me out to the outside of the track. But yeah, once again struggling through this section, only running off track there. So the battle continues. I reckon it's going to be on the back straight, but we're just through them sections there. The AI just seems so much quicker. They have so much more confidence on corner exit than I do, and they seem to be able to place the bike much better. That's the third track limit. So now we're coming onto the final lap. We're not going to be close enough into that last corner really to do anything, I don't reckon. But we come up to the line. Final lap time. It's been such a hard fought race, and we're not even in the points. This is probably one of the hardest races we've had all season. I've been riding quite well. That's opportunity number 1 out the window. We weren't able to get close enough on the back straight, unfortunately. So really it's the last sector, probably a block past there, very aggressive overtake is my only bet. Now again, I seem close there, I'm slightly wide there, but I'm going to try to cut it back and get a good exit. Pick it up there. Now again, you're not going to do anything down into turn 10 here. It's just 2-1 line. And we do take a wider line, get a good exit, or a good entry for a good exit. And I'm going to just pick the bike up early here, get it onto the fat part of the tyre, and drive up the hill. Now will we be, again, I don't reckon he has 0.2, 0.3 over me. I don't see an overtake on the cards. Now they're slightly wide there, so maybe in turn 14 if I get close enough, and I'm not close enough. That is no way I'm going to get past there. See, I couldn't get moved, so the last chance then was the final corner. I don't even know if I can. I get a small track limits warning, so I'm going to cut to the inside. We're not really close enough. We're going to give it a go. We managed to sneak it up the inside. I think he's going to beat us on exit though. He's side by side with us. Are we going to get it? I think we just managed to get him for the point. Oh, poor Aleix. I think, I'm not too sure. We'll double check with the results. Yes, we did just. And I mean just, it was a third of a tenth I beat him by, literally probably the width of a tyre. I cannot believe it. And that for the championship. Now Bagnaia is running away with it. We are in P10. Marquez jumps a late, so 1 point ahead of Marc Marquez, which would be in normal years a brilliant result, but unfortunately we're down out just in the top 10. 4th in the championship for Aprilia, so not too bad. Our young riders, so we actually get a good bit of research data this week around, just to pick up 1200 resource data and points. Unfortunately only for, actually they both get points. One of them qualified outside the top 15. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. We do have some more resource points to use in the next episode, which means maybe some more electronics developments, because I feel again electronically the bike isn't there. We have seemed to have a good strong bike in braking, and it seems to be quick in a straight line. Doesn't seem too bad in the corners, maybe a tad understeery, but we shall see what we can do with it. I'm going to try and I'm focusing. I think I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. That's the electronics that is costing me. And again, now Austria is another round, is the next round on the calendar, and that will be one where if I have good corner exit using the new traction, I felt like I could have a good race there. But now the fact that we're having a slight bit of anti-wheelie issues, I'm kind of worried that I might have a poor round there, because that is one track I'm very strong at. I've always done well there in the career modes in season 1 and season 2. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today's video. Thank you all for watching. If you liked it, like and subscribe, and I should have Austria up in the coming days. Once again, thanks for watching. I shall see you in the next one.